Hey y'all, we are up to Season 1, Episode 3 of Ladies of London, Red, White, and Blue Blooded. Okay, so I've said it before, I love the show. I think it's so fun. It's just different. I love London. I'm loving it. And I know people are still on the fence. I think part of it is that we watch these kind of shows wanting to pick sides. It's a simple, dumb thing, but it's TV, it's entertainment. That's what we do. Like sports. And we can't quite figure out, we're not at a point yet where we can figure out who's on what side and whose side we want to be on. So I think people are kind of neutral till they can start picking sides. We open up with Marissa and Juliet. They're going to be planning the 4th of July. This is going to be Marissa's last 4th of July as an American because she's becoming a British citizen. So they're kind of discussing it. They're going to have it at Marissa's restaurant and all that. And then later on we see Marissa with her husband, Matt, who's a total doll. They're so cute together, kind of picking out their food, and so they're, kind of planning the wedding. Now, the rest of our cast, Caprice is dealing with her dogs, and she gets to check out, I think it was the Daily Mail? I don't know, I kind of wish I had more reference for what kind of magazines these are. But anyway, the coverage from the Serpentine, and she got top of billing, and so she's so excited. And, all the people she's ahead of, Sarah Jessica Parker and all that, and Caroline's all the way at the bottom. So she's super excited about that. Now, we also get to catch up with Annabelle, whose grandmother is perfection. Love her grandmother. So cool. We get to learn about the title that is in her family. She had a relative who was an assassin for his lover, Queen, and she gave him a title based on him taking care of some business. And she's just so rock and roll, and she's a horseback rider, which I love, and she's just super, super cool. And we also see her kind of mentoring a younger designer from Spain, I believe, named Conchita. I kind of didn't catch her name real well. Love the clothes. I love fashion. I know that so... Yeah, I don't get to wear a lot of cool fashion. I wear comfortable stuff, but so fun. And so I kind of think of Annabelle as being like the super cool kid in school, which you wanted to be friends with desperately, but you really didn't fit in with. I think I probably fit in better with Marissa, but I love Annabelle. She's on my TV. I think she's great. And let's see, lastly, we catch up with Caroline and her social media and her business that she runs. We get to see vintage jewelry, and I love jewelry. So if you don't know, which I don't know why you would know, but I study gemology, so like gem identification, gem grading, diamond grading. I love all of that. When I was a kid, I actually competitively identified gems and minerals. It was like a science thing, and I got 5th in the nation. Woohoo! And I have a geology degree. So I love sparkly things. So I love high quality vintage jewelry. So I was dying over the necklaces, bracelets, and rings. I love all that stuff. So that was super fun to watch. And Caroline kind of describes the British, and I'm starting to think maybe I'm a little British. She's like, the British don't like to, show off their money, which I would never discuss like salary or how much money you have or anything like that. That's very ingrained in me. I don't like making big scenes. Not that I've never lost my temper, mind you, I have, but I don't, I always think it's really tacky when people make big scenes in public. I'm much more likely to snark behind someone's back or on the internet, YouTube. So anyway, so maybe I'm a little British, I don't know. So there we go. So let's get to the party, which is the real big event. Juliet shows up in shorty shorts, and she has great legs, by the way. But yeah, super like 15-year-old at the beach outfit. This is the four-year anniversary of Marissa meeting Noelle and Scot. Noelle and Scot meeting. It was a little unclear because they said anniversary, but I think she met them 4 years ago at this party. But I know they've been together 4 years, so. Anyway, somewhere around there. And that's pretty much all we see of Noelle and Scot, except one snide remark from Noelle saying that Juliet was a little over the top and perhaps drunk. So Annabelle and Juliet end up in a conversation kind of together. Annabelle was actually talking to someone else, and Juliet kind of joined the conversation, which isn't unheard of at a party. She did kind of like join and then dominate, but at the same time it's kind of like it's a party and Juliet's a host, so it's not unheard of that at a party you would like mingle with people. But Annabelle's really like, okay, you're talking too much and too fast. You need to slow down. And you need to let me get a word in. And Juliet was a little bit like, oh, ho, ho. And then talk some more. Then Annabelle's like, oh my gosh, you need to slow the blankety blank down. And she said like blank or beep or something like that. It was pretty funny. Anyway, so Juliet kind of gets a little huffy. Marissa gets up there and does a toast. And then says, and Juliet will sing the national anthem. And Juliet sang the national anthem, and I've heard worse. We'll just leave it at that. And a friend of theirs comes and brings them knickers, little undies, or as they would call them in England, pence. And Juliet's being loud in general, which she is, I can relate to. And she's just, like, they're clean, they have the tags on and everything, but they're out. And at some point, she refers to ass, which I guess is, I don't know. But anyway, and Annabelle's like, oh, I just can't anymore, and gets up and leaves. I've got to go, and leaves at the door. And then Juliet's like super offended, like, did she just leave without saying goodbye? And like follows her outside, makes a big scene in the street about, you're being so rude. Pretty. I'm not picking a side because Juliet is loud and talkative, and Annabelle's a little bit of a snob. So I'm not really, I don't know. I'm not going to say I can't believe either one of them. I don't know. But Caprice definitely picks a side about, because Juliet comes back in and says, I can't believe that happened. And Caprice is like, Annabelle's very private, and she would never just, and really gets in there and then like goes out after Annabelle and is chasing her down the street. She's trying to get a taxi, and we'll answer your phone later, dear, and all that. So Caprice is definitely team British, team Annabelle, and she's even a little offended that Caroline wasn't more offended on Annabelle's behalf, because Caroline kind of finds Juliet fun. So we're kind of seeing our teams forming, or I know it's far more complicated than teams, but whatever. So we've got Caprice and Annabelle, we got Caroline and Juliet. I don't know where, I guess Marissa would be over here, Noelle over here, but I don't know, they might be floaters, who knows? But we will definitely find out. One thing I want to point out is Annabelle used the call Juliet special needs. Is that an acceptable phrase in the UK? Because I know that would probably have a huge reaction here as inappropriate, politically incorrect, socially insensitive. So I was kind of surprised, but I don't really know what the ramifications would be in England. So, right? Okay. Anyway, still loving the show. I'll catch up with you guys later.